Hi, my name is Michelle, and I have chosen an article on the topic of type 1 diabetes for this week's article to review and critique. Before I discuss the article about research regarding adolescent behavior of secrecy from parents, I wanted to offer some background videos on what it takes to daily manage type 1 diabetes, also known as T1D, so that you may have the context for why teens might keep secrets from their parents and why this is important to study. I encourage you to watch the videos so you can learn more about T1D management straight from the children, adolescents, and parents who know it best. The article I'm presenting is called Secrecy from Parents and Type 1 Diabetes Management in Late Adolescence, published in 2015 in the Journal of Pediatric Psychology. The entire reference is on the last slide. I'm presenting this article for review in the context of validity and reliability of research. Basically, can we trust these results? Beginning with the research population, this article clearly defines the population targeted. The researchers were interested in late adolescents who had T1D for at least a year and their parents. They defined additional criteria to scope the research population. The researchers presented their study goals and their more specific research questions. The questions are logical based on the study goals of examining characteristics of parent-adolescent relationship in relation to adolescent behavior of secrecy. They were interested in what factors might be associated with teens keeping secrets and what outcomes might be associated with teens keeping secrets about T1D management. The research type and design are reasonable for the stated goals and objectives. This is observational research using surveys and one blood sample. The design is cross-sectional with a study sample from 2 cities, approval by IRB, and they provided compensation to the teens for participation. The article describes appropriate research variables for this study. The researchers studied associations between relationship variables and adolescent conduct problems and depressive symptoms. The outcomes examined are relevant to the optimal diabetes management. In reviewing the sampling procedure and based on the defined research population, the researchers used an appropriate method of recruiting participants. While there's no comment in the article about how they determined who they would approach, the assumption is it was everyone who came into the pediatric endocrinology clinic during the study period who fit the research population criteria. They approached about 500 and ultimately enrolled about 250 participants. The article comments that the sample population fairly closely matches the clinic population, and T1D is most common in European Americans, but the large percentage of non-Hispanic white participants is later listed as a limitation. Implementation involved identifying appropriate measurement scales to assess the variables being investigated. The data collection was done in 2 sessions with each participant or the participant dyad, teen, and parent. They had 1 session in clinic to complete most of the assessments and draw a blood sample from the teen, and then 1 session online for the teen at home. Using SPS software, the researchers reported Table 1 statistics on the sample population as well as other appropriate statistical calculations to show correlations and associations among 2 or more variables. The blood sample was analyzed per routine testing laboratory protocols for HbA1c levels. The research team reported results that directly answered their research questions. And they made a conclusion stating, "Our findings indicate there may be something quite maladaptive about keeping secrets from parents even in late adolescence, when adolescents are transitioning into a more autonomous role in the family." The researchers reported several limitations to this study. While all the limitations should be considered in future research and help you to have a perspective on this research, the two limitations listed that I found especially important to mitigate going forward are having a more comprehensive secrecy scale and utilizing a scale to measure quantity and quality of parent involvement. This could help to identify why teens keep the secrets and what could help so that teens keep fewer secrets or none at all. I found this article has been cited 5 times in other articles, which may be indicative of other researchers having found this study credible. And I also want to note the valuable contribution the results provide and the importance of this information for parents and providers working with teens with T1D. Finally, I'll state that I think this is a reliable and valid study based on the 9-step review process. In terms of the article itself, I struggled with the presentation of the statistical findings and how those translated into results. It may be my my lack of understanding about statistical analysis, but I've read articles where I have a good understanding of the results despite not completely following the statistical methodology. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to your comments.